Hey, what's up you guys? It's been a while since we've done this type of review. It's always a surprise. But I was able to get it. I will say, well, I guess I should show off what it is first. I mean, you know by the title, but... So today we are reviewing Star Wars The Black Series, Rocket Launcher Trooper. There's a picture of him. On the side, this shows you what all you're getting. And you got back picture, and then of course you do have the cool side. I love how this looks. Like I'll be honest, man, I'm one of those guys that just loves stormtroopers. Like, if you put out a brand new stormtrooper, and there could be only like one difference, right? I love it. Now technically this is a specific type of stormtrooper, but I guess, hold on, we'll read this. Rocket launch troopers are specialized stormtroopers serving the Galactic Empire's campaign over the galaxy. These deadly soldiers are armed with a long-range RPS-6 smart rocket launcher. So yeah, so it is technically a special type of trooper. Now for the longest time, when I first heard about these troopers, there was kind of like two variations. I mean, there was one where it was kind of just like a normal stormtrooper without any indication with a rocket launcher, but then there was like also one that had like a red pauldron, and they seem to kind of actually do the one with the red pauldron here. Now I'll be entirely honest with you here real quick. This is extremely hard to do, and part of it is because they had to keep the accuracy of the rocket launchers, but I did want to start off the video with showing this to you guys. Whether or not he'll stay like this exactly, I don't know, because it is way too difficult to get this in. This not so much, but the actual like handle where, you know, you're supposed to fire it from, it does not. It's really hard, and I don't necessarily blame them, and I don't know how you would have gotten around it, because they just did it accurately, so I can't blame them for that. So yeah, so here he is with the rocket launcher. So I will unfortunately have to remove it again. So here it is. It's actually like kind of heavy, so you can see all the sculpted detail. They didn't put anything in the front or the back, so there's not like, you know, if you wanted to actually store something or put an effect there, you would have to use like sticky tack or something like that. So yeah, and there's like, I'm assuming the sight and, you know, all that neat little stuff there. So there we go there. Now here is the rocket launcher trooper. I will say that if you notice that this is not staying down, it's because I've had him in this pose all day and night, because I got this last night and I just didn't record the review. So, but here he is. I know some of you might be like, oh, well, he has a red pauldron. Yes, but it's weird, right? Because pauldrons, even if they're very similar in color, they could technically be different. I don't know what the distinct difference is between them and like a normal stormtrooper with a red pauldron. Maybe there isn't one. I don't know. But this basically kind of signifies that he's a rocket launcher trooper. And I think when I first heard about this, I was kind of like, are they just going to give a stormtrooper a rocket launcher? Because there are technically, I think, rocket launcher troopers that just don't have a pauldron, and so they just stormtroopers with a rocket launcher. And of course I would still want one, but yeah, I mean, this is a pretty expensive video. This is like, since it's gaming greats, it is a bit pricey. So I will say that there's a part of me that, like, you know, wish that there was maybe like at least like a, like maybe like a little just like a blaster, you know, like just a standard like E11, or even like one of the pistols, you know, just to be like, oh, you know, when he's not using the rocket launcher, because I imagine just like the mortar trooper, which they've made, which I still wish I had, that, you know, when they're not doing their special, you know, their like special ability, right, they need to have something else, you know. It's just that they're specialized in this sort of thing. It's like soldiers in the real world, you know. You know, they, just because they specialize in one thing doesn't mean they can't have like something else to defend themselves, you know. So so yeah, so I mean, it's a really nice sculpt. I mean, but it is just like a basic stormtrooper. The biggest thing here is the pauldron. Kind of looks like he's like a bit stiff, like when you have it here, but I don't know. You could still get a decent amount of range. But yeah, so you don't really get anything else, and maybe it's just because this is a heavier plastic and they actually wanted to give some weight. But like, I would at least like to maybe have gotten like another blaster, or, you know, heck, maybe, you know, I wouldn't mind the idea of them just making random stormtrooper, you know, unmasked head sculpts that you can take, you know, the helmet off. Because obviously I don't want them as clones. I want them as like just random people, because that's what the stormtroopers were. They started off as clones, but, you know, they just became, you know, normal citizens. I know I'm teaching Star Wars lore, but I mean, it is a Star Wars action figure video, so yeah, I mean, there's not too much to like to really show off here. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I may not have any comparisons today, not because there aren't comparisons I could give, but it's just kind of, sorry, that I'm sure that looked weird. I had to itch my eye, but it's just kind of difficult because of how I've organized them, and also because I have a fan in front of it right now, because my room doesn't have air conditioning. So yeah, but let's get the articulation out the way. His head can move up that far, like you can see as the pauldron goes with it. His head can't, I mean, I don't know, can it go down, or do you have to move the pauldron? It can go down. It can look side. Well, when it, you know, you have to kind of hold this down if you move it to this side. It can look that way, kind of, and you do have some tilt. It's going to tilt more this way than it will this way because, you know, you got the pauldron right here. But so this. So this arm goes out that far. This arm goes out significantly farther, because you have to understand that not only is there a pauldron there, but they actually went into detail and actually made it with a, I mean, you can, I'm sure, like, if you're skilled enough, you can take this off if you want to have like another rocket trooper that just doesn't have the pauldron, you know, because I think there are variations of that. So so you do have that. And I think I'm just going to use the other arm, so that's not as complicated. He's got the single jointed swivel and single jointed elbow that goes up that far. This hand goes in and out. This hand goes up and down, which I think is kind of weird because, you know, but diaphragm joint allows him to go that far forward, that far back. You can tilt, and swivel. His legs can go out that far. They can kick back that far. He's got a single jointed knee and it swivels. And his ankle joints go that far down, that far up, and he's got ankle pivot. So I know a lot of you would like, and I just want to show that you could get him into this pose. It's a bit tricky, and you have to kind of. Oh, and he does have thigh swivel. I completely forgot about that. But kind of have to, like, really, you know, if you, because, like, you know, obviously the pose is to get, like, the rocket launcher and have him kneeling, you know. So, now, if you're also looking to maybe get some, like, variations of, like, stormtrooper ranks, you know, you could get this and paint the pauldron, you know, a different color. I don't know all the colors, but if you really wanted to do that, you could, or if you wanted to provide some extra detail, that definitely would work. I will say this, I find it the funniest thing is that I have stormtroopers that basically look like normal stormtroopers but aren't. But I don't have a normal stormtrooper. Like, this is the closest one I have. Because the only distinctive thing is that it has a pauldron and a rocket launcher, and it has a specific classification. But like all the other stormtroopers, I'm not even talking about like a shore trooper or an AT-ACT pilot or anything like that. I'm talking about like, I have the incinerator trooper. Basically looks like a stormtrooper with a bunch of red markings and a flamethrower. Or an incinerator, I guess. I've got the Mimbin trooper, which is basically just a stormtrooper with a cape and like some like a modified helmet that has like some modifications to it. You know, so it's kind of funny that all the stormtroopers that I have that are like of like the basic stormtrooper armor, they're not even normal stormtroopers. Like, I don't have a normal stormtrooper. And I mean, one day I plan to get one, you know, obviously. It's going to happen eventually. But I know it's going to be kind of weird, because it's going to be like, here are all the stormtroopers that I got before the even normal one. So, and I will say that the biggest shelf is the Imperial shelf, because I have a lot of the variations of the stormtroopers. I don't even have, like, the Emperor. I have Darth Vader and a couple Inquisitors and Grand Admiral Thrawn, but I don't have anyone else. I just have a lot of the troopers. I mean, there are, of course, other ones I plan on getting. Of course, I plan to get the other Inquisitors. And what other Inquisitors that they haven't done yet, I plan to get, you know. But, yeah, I really like the different troopers. I remember I would just, like, go back and watch all the variations of the stormtroopers, because I thought they looked so cool. So, yeah. Oh, and by the way, for scaling, I mean, I know it's not on a solid surface, but that's like how tall this is. So, in case you're wondering. But yeah. So, sorry there's no comparison. Just how it is. Hopefully there is more Star Wars. And I will say that, you know, I will definitely try to get more gaming grades. I guess, is this the first Star Wars review that we had the no plastic? I think it's not the first figure review without any plastic up here, or clear plastic, but yeah. So I hope to get more gaming grades, because there's a lot of them. I want to get the Commando Squad. I want to get the Clone Battalion from you know, Jedi Fallen Order, which they actually say that this guy's from. So, you know, there's that. I've thought about getting the Riot Scout Trooper just because. So yeah, there's definitely more gaming grades I want to get, but it may take a while. I definitely will say I'm definitely leaning more towards the, I think it's the 313th Battalion Clone Trooper. I'm not sure, but I know it's the Clone Trooper Battalion that Cal Kestis and his master, Jedi, had, you know, command of. So, but yeah, so hopefully I will see you guys very soon. But until then, like, share, and subscribe, and peace.